friends and family. Welcome to another TSLE WLI podcast. If you haven't yet, please share this episode with your sphere of influence, because this podcast is where we empower and inspire you to reach your greatness. I'm your boy. I am your host, Coach Teon Singletary, the motivator of excellence. And man, we have a powerful conversation lined up here for you today. And today it is an honor to bring someone on the stage with me to talk to you that will impact you in a big way. Nathan Baws is he's a serial entrepreneur, a business growth fanatic, right? An author, a keynote speaker with over 4 decades of lived experience in building, scaling, and rebuilding businesses across multiple, and I mean multiple, industries. So, but more importantly, this is someone who understands what it means to grow, to lead, and to overcome. So Nathan, welcome to the TSLE WLI podcast, my friend.
Hi, Teon. Lovely to be here, mate. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, the pleasure is mine. As we get things going for everyone, I had the opportunity to get to know you a little bit about with your bio and being able to check you out on social media. But can you share a little bit of your journey for us so that they can be able to get to know you a little bit more? Like, what was some defining moments that shape who you are today?
Yeah, certainly. Teon, look, my background is business, and more business. So it's something that I do 24/7. Absolutely love the journey and have so much fun doing it. To me, it's a really enjoyable experience, and I just feel you have to make it that way if you want to devote the hours to it that you kind of need to get something a new project off the ground. I think my motivation from business started at about 6 years old. I can trace it back to that when I started my first business.
Yeah.
Yeah, very unsuccessful business, but it put me in the position of understanding things needed. I needed to learn about business to grow, and it was basically a lack of resources, as in a single sole parent and not too many dollars available. So that was the big motivation that at 6 I said, look, I'm sick of eating potatoes. We were eating a ridiculous amount of potatoes, and it soon occurred to me that I didn't want to be eating that every night for months on end, and that I wouldn't mind looking at a steak now and again. I discovered they were pretty tasty at that age, and I thought I need to do something to change my scenario and change it and help mum put some other food in the trolley other than bloody potatoes. So that's the background. And since then, I've been involved in lots of businesses, starting pretty much. There's about 19 businesses that I've been involved in, and out of those, I've started pretty much everyone other than one. One was one that I came in and turned around, and it was already there. But I absolutely love that startup phase. I love that creative phase where you can just create whatever the heck you want in a business, and you can make it go whatever direction you want, and you can find really amazing opportunities in it that perhaps aren't being fulfilled by the rest of the world currently. You have to have a little spin on it. So I guess that's a bit of the background where I am and have come to be today.
Interesting. I think you got a book there, How Not to Continue to Eat Potatoes.
I reckon I could write one. Absolutely. I think we would bring out a movie actually.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Man, that's powerful right there. And I mean, your story is not just your story, right? It's someone else's survivor guide, and hopefully today we can be able to dig a little bit more into the weeds of that backstory and how you were able to shift your mindset, right? To really dig into who you are to the core. And you said something also very powerful, and that is there's a lack of resources. But it sounds like you were able to be creative and you created your own resources. So share with us a little bit about that and tie that into your message or mission you are passionate about right now in your life.
Yeah, Tony Robbins. Everyone knows Tony Robbins, a huge motivational speaker. I wrote a book with him, and my chapter, just a chapter, and my chapter is all about mindset, motivation through dopamine creation. Actually, through utilizing dopamine to keep you motivated and to grow your business. So yeah, and he always talks about is not a lack of resources, but it's a lack of resourcefulness, and you have to bring more resourcefulness, to the party. If you want a solution and you don't have too many dollars, there's always a way. You just have to find it. And the beauty is that there is always a way, that you're probably not the first one on the planet to experience a challenge and a problem. And whatever the problem is, there's a way of looking for a solution and coming up with a creative solution. And I think that's a lot easier to do when the stress levels are a bit lower. So if you're in the thick of it and there's, a lot going on, there's a lot of anxiety, it tends to kill that creativity. But if you can manage your mindset and, do little tricks like stimulating the dopamine, then the creative levels really escalate and the solution finding becomes absolutely more possible. So that's sort of where I've gone. And my mission is just to have an awesome time in business. Absolutely love the journey. So that's one of my missions. And I think people struggle with their mission. And people really struggle with finding, okay, I know there's another purpose. I know I should have a bigger, better purpose and a bigger, better mission. But I always find that if you start with what you absolutely love, then the path becomes a lot clearer.
Interesting, interesting. Uh, I, I love what you said. That's why I'm breathing. Like I'm trying to decide which way I want to take this. Like it's so many ways I want to take this. Because that's a great conversation. And mindset is all what I do right now in my life. And you talked about dopamines. I'm like, yes, that's it. That's the secret sauce that you need in your
That's
body.
the good stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very good for you to really push you to take it to the next level. But you said something about mindset of resourcefulness. like wow. Like, okay, now how do we get there? Like, how can people think more about how they can be most resourcefulness? Like, how can they really create that in their life? And looking for ways on how to be more creative, how to truly lower the stress level in order to increase their creativity. Like, I guess what are some ways how you have done that in your past and right now in your life to maintain a peak of entrepreneurship that you have created for your life?
Yeah, good question, Tian. So I kind of consider it as becoming a business athlete. So it's a really important thing to capsulate the whole body experience. So, we have a mind that often goes off and takes you in the wrong direction. So it's all about what we can do to train that brain. We also have a biochemistry within our body that can either be really, really productive or it can be really, really detrimental to our journey within. And I relate everything to business, but because that's my passion. So everything that I do with my brain and everything that I do with my body and the biochemistry, I always like to bring it back to business because I think to myself, okay, what can I do to fix this crazy thing up here and this balance all this craziness in the body to maximize my outcomes in business. And I mean, the beauty is that, when you fix this and you fix that, then things in your health and a lot of other things flow really well. It's not just the business, but working on the package because we're a very holistic package. I think the medical system tends to isolate problems and they go, okay, there's a
Ah,
problem here. Let's give a drug for that. But it unfortunately it misses the whole package that
yeah,
it all interrelates together.
yeah,
So
yeah,
on a daily basis, I think, in business, we should focus on our mindset. We should absolutely focus on our health because the better outcomes we get in both, the
mm,
more energy we'll have to complete the day's worth of work and to outwork the next person. If you can put in 16 hours of work per day that's highly productive and at your optimum level and and just work longer and harder than the next person, then genuinely you're going to have a huge advantage.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
if you're half dead and you're struggling with your energy and you're just yawning throughout the day and your brain is full of fog,
mm,
then it's going to be a slog. It's going to be a
mm,
really, really tough challenge. So I just figure why not utilize every single tool that we have at our disposal for the whole package
yeah.
and bring it in and maximize our advantage within the business day and every minute that we have to dedicate towards bringing in an income, basically.
It's something what you saying. It's a holistic approach.
Correct.
The mind, body, and spirit. There's a thing where in Northern coding, I'm a Northern coding specialist, where it's mind, feel, do, have. Like what you think is how you feel, what you do is what you have in your life. So and that's pretty much summarize everything that you just shared there on an application approach on why it is important and it's awareness, right? Being aware of yourself, the way how you think, the way how you feel, your health and mindset. It's pretty much that's what it is. So being more aware of who you are, what's going on in your important spaces, right? And then what you can do about it, and to fix yourself to become better. So it's like information informs, but application transforms. And and you share with us some ways on how we can apply this in our life. So let's talk even more real for a moment, and let's I guess share a challenge or an obstacle that you had to overcome to get to where you are today by using the principles and techniques that you just share of that mindset shift and heart rehabilitation to get you where you are.
So being brought up on potatoes and lack of resources was a big challenge to start with. And so many people are in that same situation and way, way worse. So I don't say that it was incredibly terrible. We had food on the table. It just happened to be potatoes. So so we yeah we never went hungry, but that was a phenomenal motivator. And I think there's two ways of looking at everything. You can cry about it or you can say, all right, let's use that as motivation. And my sister and I, obviously brought up together, both in the same scenario. And we always say, we're very, very grateful for the beginnings that we had. And we, constantly say to each other, we'll never go back. We'd never go back to that scenario because we're just way too motivated to go forwards, and we never want to go back. So that in itself is a huge driver to every day of jumping out of bed and putting in 16 hours on regular basis
Yeah.
to get whatever we do. But there's a bunch of things that I think you can bring into your life to help you get there. My focus is dopamine creation because I just find that little angle really, really helps with driving and motivating and achieving.
Yeah.
So for me, it's lots of cold water therapy. I jump in the ocean every
Really?
day. Yeah. So I've been involved in a Guinness Book of World Records actually for ice baths. We did the biggest ice bath.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, in
Tell
the
us
world.
more.
Yeah, so that was a 2 years ago. We set that for the biggest ice bath in the world,
Wow.
and unfortunately, someone beat us within months. I mean, we'd set this huge record, and
Wow.
then someone else beat us. But the idea of ice baths to me is all about dopamine and utilizing that. It's the biggest trigger, one of the biggest natural triggers of dopamine you can do is cold water therapy.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
basically whenever your body is put into a state that's not super comfortable, whenever you have to go outside of the comfort zone, whether it's physical or mental, these sort of things can actually trigger dopamine. And
Mm,
it's your body giving you that reward of you've gone through some hardship, will keep you going. Here's a little drug that's going to make you feel good.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so cold water therapy is fantastic. It can increase your dopamine by over
Okay. Okay.
243%,
Okay.
and last it for several hours. So it's a fantastic way to start your
Huh.
day, whether it's a cold shower,
Yeah.
or jumping into the cold water, whatever. Music can be very uplifting and it can
Yep.
trigger dopamine. Healthy diet, keeping your carbohydrates very low. I run a ketogenic weight loss program here and in a couple of hotels in Indonesia,
Okay.
and they're really useful for increasing your dopamine, keeping
Yep.
your sugar and from bouncing all around the place. And exercise is fantastic for dopamine. So all those things you can bring into your daily life that'll help with your business and your motivation
Hmm.
and keeping your stress levels down, preventing burnout, and allowing you just to keep plowing through your day.
Huh. Interesting. Man, you share a lot of stuff that I want to dig into, but we don't have time for it. But man, this is very interesting. Like you really got my attention. I know about everybody else, but you got my attention, right? Cold water therapy. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that yet.
Look, it, I
I'm gonna have to
wasn't.
do it though.
I took ages, years for probably, I've been doing it probably for almost 3 years consistently now, but
Okay.
for the previous 47 odd years, I would freak out. I would be sitting by the side of the ocean. It would take me 45 minutes to psych myself up to jump into the
Wow.
ocean. And I
Wow.
used to watch other people jump in and go, geez, I'd love to do that. Um, and and then I just got to the stage where I was so frustrated. And,
Yeah.
sometimes that's the breaking point. You have to get to that level of
Uh-huh.
like, I can see this is really good for me. Why the heck am I not doing it?
Yeah.
So I started just throwing myself in, and then I don't think it ever gets easy, but it gets easier. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting.
And you come out feeling so amazing,
Huh.
So that dopamine hit is just so addictive. It's so amazing. When it's
Uh,
0 degrees out there, there's no one down the beach, it's raining, it's hailing, and you're freezing your toes off on the sand and you jump into the ocean and you're getting that, wow, like this is phenomenal. You're getting that, then that's addictive. That's the addictive bit that you go, yeah,
huh.
yeah, I've got to do that again tomorrow.
I love it. The crazy thing is, there's someone else that I know in my circle that does that too. And they told me about that before, so it's not the first time I heard of it. Uh, but now I have to try it. Like I really have to do
Oh,
it and see what happens. I
awesome.
mean, I have jumped in the beach before when it's cold, and then oh, and there is a feeling that you have after
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I can see it, but now I know what the intentions are.
Yeah.
It's like I think I'm gonna have a different experience. So
Yeah,
I'm looking
100%.
forward to
If you
that.
go in with that mindset of
Yep.
this is going to be phenomenal
Yep.
for me, I'm going to really benefit from it,
Yep.
it often does help push you through that little bit
Huh.
of, oh, this is super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Motivation. Motivation. That's
Yeah.
you have given me more motivation, and
Excellent.
I think that's what people need to hear, right? Is that sometimes you have to talk yourself into getting uncomfortable, getting out of your comfort zone, and that's what entrepreneurship it tends to be for me. It's like uh, I always have to force myself to get out of my comfort zone all the time,
Mm.
all the time. If I'm going to another networking event, I gotta get out of my comfort zone because I'm an introvert. I prefer to be to myself, be reserved, watch people, learn, and then speak. But I'm forced to be more social, right? Like for me to do this podcast with my deficiencies and who I am in the past and where I came from, it was hard for me to get started. But I got started. I got out of my comfort zone. So I guess the question we asking everyone that's listening right now is, what is the one thing that you need to break through? What barrier that's stopping you from achieving the best version of yourself or achieving that next goal or that next project? What's slowing you down? And if it's you, then guess what? It's time for you to remove yourself out of the way and do it. Take action because now is the time, right? So your struggle is not a setback. It's a setup for the next level. It's a setup for your comeback. So get out there. So now for me, I need to get out there and try this cold water therapy. I'm gonna have to take a cold shower here tonight or in the morning.
Good start.
Just to try, like I'm interested to feel it now. Like I
Yeah.
really am. I guess I'm
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
just a little bit cuckoo in the head, huh?
That's a essential ingredient for taking that next step. But if there's something I can just add to what you just said,
Yeah.
actually, Tion, one of the things that I find helps move you through that discomfort, and you have to move through discomfort to get to comfort and to achieve. We all know that. Athletes obviously go through challenges physically to get to where they are. Same with business, we have to go through that. One
Yes.
of the best things I've found to help push you through that discomfort is just knowing your numbers or knowing what's at the end. So I'll give you an example. We
Yeah.
were in London, we were selling property, and this was back in 2009, 2010, just
Yeah.
after the global financial crisis had hit,
Okay.
and not one property was selling. Nothing,
Uh,
everything had just vanished because the banks had stopped lending, so
uh,
buyers couldn't buy, couldn't get mortgages.
yeah.
So my sister and I said, we've got to do things differently. We've had this property we needed to sell. It wasn't
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
We were playing around with property, and we said, great, let's get some big, yellow, ugly signs and write on them with ugly writing and put a few spelling mistakes in there. And let's
Uh-huh.
say, buy my flats, and we created a very easy way, a creative finance way of selling it. So X amount of pounds per week gets it, and our phone number. And we thought, where can we do this and get in as much visibility as possible?
Yeah.
And we thought Tower Bridge, the biggest bridge in London, the most iconic bridge. So we walked across that, and that was rather discomforting. It was very uncomfortable, and we had traffic pull up. We had buses that were going down there. The bus driver just stopped in the middle of the street and hung out and said, "What are you guys doing?" And everyone was photographing, and there was a whole buzz, and there was a huge amount of discomfort around that for us. It was like, this is quite embarrassing. But before we went into that, we sat down. I said, Rachel, we got to know our numbers. If we walk across the bridge, what's this going to generate as income? And we realised it was about £40,000 that we would make out of that walk across the bridge. So as you can imagine, that was kind of motivational. So no, and as it happened, our photographs got put into newspapers all around the world. It went viral and
Wow.
picked up in Qatar on the front page of a newspaper for some bizarre reason. But
Wow.
and our phone just rang off the hook for 48 hours. We sold that house in 48 hours, and
Wow.
it was all about knowing that that discomfort had a figure attached to it. So if you can quantify the discomfort that you're about to go through and understand, okay, getting up in the morning to go to the gym every morning well, that's good. I know it's good for me, but what specifically will you achieve from that? Understand the goal and the end result,
I love it.
define it, and it just immediately, like, if someone paid me 40 grand to do it again today, of course, anyone would do that. Well, surely. Some people would do that, not everyone. Yeah.
I love that. Oh man, that's good. That's powerful right there. When you have an end goal in mind,
Mm,
it changes everything.
mm,
It changes
everything.
how you take action, and because now you know the why you are taking this action.
Spot on.
So it's
Yeah.
like clarity create confidence, and confidence create
Mm,
action.
beautiful. Well put.
It forces you to take action, and and as I think back in my time when I got started, yeah, it's the clarity. Like this is the end goal. This is what I'm trying to achieve, and this is why. And because of that why and what I'm trying to achieve, it forces me to get up every morning. It forces me to get in the right mind, to get in the right headspace, and take action on the day. Seize the day, right? So
Beautiful.
is your purpose big enough where it scares you, and you're like, okay, I can't do this by myself. There's a source that can help me out with this. But at the same time, if I don't do nothing, how can I continue to bite at this goal? Right? So you got to take action. You have to force yourself to take action. Once you understand the why, you have complete clarity with that. That's me personally on what I had to do.
100%.
Find that clarity, because once I found that clarity, everything else was history. Because now I know this is why I'm doing it. This is the reason.
Mm,
This is for the
mm.
people I'm trying to do it for. This is the value I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying. This is what it is. So it forces me to, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it
Totally.
does. It
Yeah.
does. It does. And now I think that leads into the next question I want to ask you as we begin to in the latter part of this episode. And that is, what does living a life of purpose means to you? I already kind of heard it already about what you're sharing and sharing your stories and everything. But let's get to the meat of it. Like, what is the living source of your purpose and what it means to you?
Yeah, I guess from the potato side to the steak side, it's the purpose is ensuring that I never have to go back to that. But the purpose and the mission is all about having fun, like absolutely focusing on that fun element of business. So, for example, in one of my businesses called Tommy Sugo, we're in Western Australia. We manufacture pasta. We do lots of taste testing
Okay.
and things
Okay.
in supermarkets that we sell to. And that's all about connecting the fun and just having a bit of a laugh with people and getting them to try food and but doing it in a really light-hearted way, having a joke, trying to make them smile, make them engage and have a laugh.
Okay.
I think people understand that people buy from people they like, and laughter is a fantastic way. It's a dopamine stimulation, actually. It's
There you
another
go.
very powerful
I like
dopamine.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So all those things sort of give me my mission, my purpose, my passion. It's all around that passion and making people have a amazing experience. And I think there's a way lack of that in the planet these days
Yeah.
with that customer engagement. It's
Yeah.
just also monotone and freaking boring
Mm,
and people crave for something a little bit more special, any sort of interaction, particularly in the sales process.
yeah.
I know I see it also in recruitment when I'm recruiting team members. It's one of the most depressing times of my day is when I have to recruit team members because
Ah,
the boring submissions that people put in, and there's so much opportunity to do things so much more interestingly.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'll give you a quick example. One of the guys, a mate of mine, he's an investment banker, and
Uh,
when he was going through university, he wanted to get a job in this really cool bar. And so he created this puppet, this video of a puppet, and on a string,
Yeah.
and it was talking all about John and John's this, and you should get John into your. He's amazing with the customers, and he does like funny jokes with while he's serving beers and things like this. And he sent that to his employer, his future employer, and of course, mate, yeah, you can start tomorrow. So, those are the sort of things that we can do differently to think outside of the box
Mm,
because everyone is in that. You just have to read LinkedIn and you see this the cookie
yep.
cutter
Uh, yeah.
positioning of everyone.
Yep.
And it's just so like, oh, wake me up when I'm through this one. It's just so, it's a snore fest. And I just think you don't have to do it that way. People are craving that point of difference. And it's so
Mm,
rare that you just have to tweak it a little bit, show a little bit of passion,
mm,
and you can cut through. You can just cut through so much. So yeah,
mm.
I'm not sure that that completely answers your question, but that passion
No,
is where I get excited about.
no, it sums it up for me, and because I really love what you say about, and I'm summarizing it. Stop playing small and start playing it safe, right? Be different, and
Be different.
being more passionate about what you do, but you are all about being passionate about what you do. You about just being more creative and innovative of what you do, but at the same time having fun with what you do.
Mm,
Is who you
well
are.
summarized. Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Which is pretty cool to me because if everyone stopped being that way, actually begin to be that way, I think we'll see some more creative things out there in the world, and we'll see more happier people out there too as well.
More happiness, more love, more
Yeah,
peace, more world
yeah,
peace. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool that that's your passion, and why you do what you do in the entrepreneurship world.
Mm.
And I think that speaks to some of the things that you have achieved in your life too as well, because that's the way how you live your life authentically. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to me. So with that, and I believe that's part of what TSLE WLI is all about, right? Is living with intentions and on purpose, and that's who you are, and you live in that. So now let's talk about a peak and a valley. We all experience peaks, the high points, and we all experience valleys, the low points in life, which you have shared a little bit of too as well. So let's talk a little bit about a valley. Uh, I love them. We keep going back to potatoes to steaks. That
Yeah.
should be part of the title for this podcast. I mean, for this episode, potatoes from potatoes to steaks. I love it. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about the valley, and then also, what is a peak that you are experiencing right now, or you have experienced, so that we may celebrate you here on the episode.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, definitely had the challenges along the way, and I think in business, it's always that bumpy road.
Mm,
It's never a smooth sail,
yeah.
but it's just the way you interpret those valleys that can either make you or break you, I find. So, I've had businesses which have made massive losses, 10 to 20 grand every month just being ripped out of your bank account. So I've had
Mm,
that and experienced that, and that was when I was doing restaurants, and I was,
okay.
they say the way to make $1 million in restaurants is to start with 10 million, and you work your way down to one very quickly. So um, so that was a very challenging time. I think that and the potatoes are those sort of valleys that I've
Ah.
some of my major valleys that I've experienced,
Okay. Okay.
but would not trade it for anything. Would not
Okay.
trade the loss of money. Would not trade the experience for
Okay.
anything because they are significant learning curves in business
Okay. Okay.
development. And it's funny because I just come out the back of a very successful exit in the health industry. I had health shops and had built a supplement brand that I sold across Australia, and I
Uh,
had a seven-figure exit out of that one. And
nice.
going
Congrats.
from that high to like thinking I'm totally indestructible, I'm completely bulletproof, and finding out that life actually has a few other lessons for you to learn straight thereafter. A nice big slap in the face and a big shake up. Say, hey, hang on a second, mate. It's not all peachy like that. There's more lessons to learn, and as I say, I wouldn't remove those learning curves because
Okay.
that impacts every single business that I'm involved in today.
Okay.
It makes me think way more creatively. It makes me look at preventing the input of how do we create the same outcome without the heavy infrastructure.
Yeah.
So without the huge investments, is there a way?
Okay.
So asking way better questions
Uh,
and
uh,
um,
okay.
yeah, very, very powerful. So there's always a way. And as I say, we're never the first one to have the problem. There's always someone else, expertise, a coach to tap into, like yourself, that's been there, done it, and
Mhm.
can bring that learning curve a lot faster. And starting with asking the right questions is to me fundamental now of getting the best results and tracking yourself in the right direction very early on.
I can have this conversation with you all day, all night, all evening. I mean, because what you're saying is hitting home, and there's so much we can dig out of this, but we just don't have the time. We just don't have the time. But one that you just shared, the last part is asking the right question, asking better questions. There's plenty of moments in my life where that one thing changed everything, right? Just asking the right question, either to myself, so I can change my way of
Mm,
my thinking,
mm,
so I can move from stinking thinking to growth thinking, right?
yeah.
And part of that was asking the right questions to myself, or asking better questions for myself to be able to think through, but also asking the right questions to others to learn from, to gain insights from them, so that I can be able to find something that I need to apply in my life so that I can be better, so that my business can be better. Because if you got a problem, I guarantee you there's a solution to every problem. You just
Mm,
haven't asked the right question probably to
mm.
find yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is all. It goes back to what you shared earlier about being creative and just being just be open and just get out of the box. And you literally said that. Just get out of the box, right? Get out of the box that we think we are in because it's not real. The box is not real. We put
It's
our
very restrictive in that box, Tion.
yeah,
Very restrictive.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's. I mean, you just open my mind a little bit more, and some things that I'm going to think too as well from this conversation with you, uh, because you're someone who has done it and been there, and so I'm going to be listening to this episode again to see what else I can lean from and glean from this conversation with you about your valleys and peaks and how I can get out of those peaks quicker.
Mm, mm. Absolutely.
By applying what you shared with us earlier, with the holistic thinking of our mind and our heart and being in the right place and just asking those right questions so that it can feed us the right way and doing those small things to heighten our dopamines in our body, in our system, to get us in that creative thinking. So that's pretty cool. So let's celebrate that, right? Let's raise the roof on that. I mean, that's powerful right there. And how it just show you how it just show you that the possibilities are real if you are committed, you have good faith, and you just take consistent action. right? Just take consistent action. So it's thank you, man. Just thank you so much, Nathan, for sharing your insights and just being open and just sharing your story. Like so many stories you shared today. It's amazing. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. Because story sells, right? And you did that very well here today. So with that, before we wrap up, like what is the best way where the listeners, the audience, can be able to stay in contact with you if they connected to the stories that you have shared with us tonight, or on this episode? Like, how can people find you? And then, what is one thing that you are currently working on right now that we should support?
Yeah, sure. Look, my website, nathanbaws.com, or LinkedIn, feel free to, anyone's welcome to contact and reach out. If you're looking at going into business, or if you're in business and going through a few challenges, we connect monthly, and a few of us, and just chat business, and we love nerding out about business and, how we can grow it. The growth part for me is phenomenal. I just love that. That's an absolute passion. How can we grow a business, particularly without a budget, doing it organically? So yeah, anyone that wants a little bit of a hand, it's completely free. We just enjoy being in that space, and welcome to connect through the website or through LinkedIn, and we can hook up and hopefully help each other grow. That's the plan.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nathan, for being here again. My friends, you just heard it today. Growth is intentional, purpose is personal, and the next level requires what? Action. It's time for you to get out of the house and take action on your dreams, goals, and vision. So if this episode has added value to you in any shape, form, or fashion, make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on every platform. I don't care your favorite platform. I want every platform. Subscribe. If you want to learn more about the TSLE WLI podcast, or you want to be a guest speaker on the podcast, visit the website at www.tslewli.com and learn more there. Listen, you are not waiting on opportunity. The opportunity is waiting on you to take action. I am Coach Teon Singletary, the motivator of excellence. Stay empowered, stay inspired, and live within your greatness. I love you, and there's nothing, and I mean nothing, you can do about it. Take care and continue to shine your light bright, my friends. Visit our website at www.teonsingletary.com to learn more about what we do. Again, that is www.teonsingletary.com. We want to see you succeed in life. Are you ready? How are you doing, great people? It is your boy, Coach Teon Singletary, the host of the TSLE WLI. And if you don't know what that stands for, then guess what? You better stand by. Teon Singletary Leadership Empowerment Weekly Live Inspiration. Here to empower you, here to inspire you, here to help you reach your greatness. Why? Because you are greatness made from greatness. Subscribe to the podcast right now and share with a friend. This podcast is designed to help you reach your full potential. I will provide you special trainings for you and will have guest speakers to inspire you. All you have to do is join me. As Executive Director of the John Maxwell team and one of the prodigies of the Les Brown Power Voice Academy, I will provide you the ingredients that you need to make your success story. And the greatest story ever told is your story. We just have to do what my mentor, my friend John Maxwell says. We have to live intentionally. Subscribe to the podcast right now and share with a friend. Will you join me as we change our world together? Visit the website at www.teonsingletary.com for your free gift. Continue to be great in you and be great in the things that God has inspired you to be, do, and have in this thing we call life. Coach Teon Singletary signing off. Thank you for listening to this episode. I pray and hope that it provided you the ingredients you need to live your best life with excellence.